Yeah, 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 yeah. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the more show, more. Yeah, it's the more show. Welcome to the more show, more. Yeah, it's the more show. Welcome to the Jake Moore Show. Welcome to the show.
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. I got my girl Kelly Lee in the building.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, and Muchella.
Hey, Moochie.
Hey, glad to have y'all. Lovely ladies, as always. My sister's in the building. Another Real Talk Tuesday. And we're going to talk about a couple different topics. But one of the things we're going to talk about is Kevin Samuels. And he did pass away, and I will say unfortunate, because I don't wish nobody to pass away, especially while you're still in your 50s. I know maybe if you in your 20s, you may think that's old, but it's not that old, and, it's still unfortunate. But, nevertheless, we'll talk about some of the things. Look at you over there with the nice little cup. Look at that. Looking beautiful over there.
I like to join Pretty Girl with the merch.
I know, right? Doing it big over there. But he made some points that some people would say were some good and valid points. And then sometimes he would say some things that probably would mess up the points that he made. We're going to talk about a couple of those points. I'm going to play a clip or two and then, hear from the ladies and what they think about it. All right. So I appreciate everybody for coming through, while I get the clips and things all straightened out. Kelly, what's your, summary of Kevin Samuels? I'm pretty sure nobody here was really like a super fan, but what did you think about some of his things he said and him?
Well, I heard about him just by seeing certain clips online, but I didn't subscribe to him. So I just found out about a lot about his content, after his passing. Prior to that, I didn't listen to anything that he had to say, and everything that I heard was negative. So I'm now starting to realize how negative he really was to women, especially black women. And it's nothing nice. I can't tell you I heard anything that was ultimately uplifting, but we heard a clip together, and it had some validity to it, but it was so manipulative that it lost focus. So even when he's on the right track, he's off the track at the same time.
Okay. All right, Moochie, what was your thoughts and your impression about Kevin Samuels?
I didn't follow him. I didn't care for the energy that he was putting out in the clips that I did see. So I didn't want to even listen to. Once I heard how he was talking to women, I just didn't engage with that. I didn't want to hear that. And, I know he passed away, but I really, other than that, how somebody said, I don't wish any ill will on him, but I see, I'm seeing all of the stuff that's going on, and it's kind of messed up.
Yeah, I agree.
All right. I got a clip that he had on his IG page. I'm gonna play, and it seemed that he liked to talk about full-figure women and down them and pick on women with low self-esteem a lot. I'm gonna play this clip, and then you guys tell me what you think about this.
Let's see what we got here. Ready, bitch, out of here. Yeah. Say hi. Yeah. I say disrespectful, but disrespectful. Okay. Shirley! Think chicks do it better. Go, Shirley! Big girl, kitty, get wetter. Respect. Shirley didn't even take the mind out. Chicks do it better. Hey. Big girl, potatoes, tomatoes, ham, dog, chicken, big girl, throw it back, ass like a Cadillac. Let's see what we got.
I laugh because she did make herself pop a little bit. That was kind of a little funny. But what do you think about how he would always call full-figure women Big Shirley, or make them feel that they couldn't get a man because they was overweight? Do you think that like, maybe some people want to lose weight because it make them feel better or it's healthy, but that don't mean you should say you can't find somebody that love you. But that's my opinion. Kelly, what you thought about what he was doing with these instances?
I fully disagree with it, and I think it's awful what he was doing, because to me, you gotta help someone with a spoonful of sugar. You can't give them vinegar and expect them to receive anything that you're saying of any worth. And he degraded women of color, plus size women. Yesterday I saw a clip of him saying that you are below average if you're over a size 6. Who's the perfect person in his eyes? You know what I mean? I think he's very disrespectful, and I could understand why people have distaste towards him.
Mm-hmm. All right, Moochie, what do you think about him and how he treated especially black women that may be overweight?
It was black women that had high standards. He just was disrespectful to all of them, to me. Mm-hmm. But and he was he just was disrespectful. And to think, how do you treat your mother and sisters if you have any?
Yeah, see, I don't know about that. Did he?
It's just like certain stuff. Once I saw how he rocked. This is something that I don't need in my space because it's bad energy.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you, how did you come to start to follow him or get information on him? What made you start to check on him a little bit?
I never checked on him.
Oh, I thought you said you followed him. My bad.
I never checked on him. I never followed him. What I said was I've seen clips on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I never even went to his channel to watch any of his videos.
I misheard.
Right. I saw the same. You would see like people who you follow.
And to me, the black women blew him up.
Right.
Why would you go on this show? Why would you go on this show if you know how disrespectful he's going to be?
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you give him your energy?
I don't understand that either. I definitely don't understand that either. Suburbia Jones said, you are below average if you want to date a high-powered man. That is someone making high 6 figures. Just because you make 6 figures or whatever the case doesn't mean you're a high-powered man. You could be a shallow person. You could be abusive. You could be a thief. You could be a cheater. One thing that I did see a couple of his clips is he made it seem that money meant that you were a good catch. And it's a lot of people with money that have a lot of other problems, and money just ain't one of them, but they got problems in every other things. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think money makes you a good catch, Moochie?
If you want to be used.
Okay, Kelly, what you think about that?
You shouldn't even be talking about all of that. You gotta. I do want a person with a job or whatever, but I feel like once you get into stuff like that, I don't know. I'm just real protected with my space. Because I'm not trying to get hurt, and I'm not trying to hurt nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
And clearly, money never really made an issue. Look, you have what's his name, Robin Williams. You have Anthony Bourdain, Kate Spade. These people didn't want for money, and they committed suicide. You know what I mean? So, and on that note, money is not everything.
Look
You know
at
what
the
I
beauty
mean?
queen that just killed herself. I mean, that's herself.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Sorry about that.
Right. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much money you have. And like Moochie said, that's once you put that on the table, then you're setting yourself up to get used, because that's what people are going to deal with you for. And then sometimes it seems like a contradiction, I should say, because you don't want somebody to use you, but you're putting that out in the forefront.
Right. Suburbia Jones said, where is he getting all his subscribers from if what he says doesn't resonate with people?
I don't know. Some people like to see drama. So that's what it is. Some people was there for the drama, there for the, like, let me see, look at how crazy he be talking to these girls. Let me see this.
But you can't look away from the train wreck.
Yes.
Good
you
point.
hit the nail on the head with that one.
Just like the Real Housewives series, it's people that love watching that, but these are all successful women. Why are you watching them be catty with each other and miserable when they are like still looking good, successful, but they miserable all the time and always arguing and mad at each other? Like, I don't get that. But
I don't watch that either. I feel like it paints black women in a bad light.
I agree.
I agree.
I've worked with women for 20 years, and we've gone on vacation together, and it wasn't no catty stuff like that. If I wasn't messing with you, we could be in the same room and nothing happened. They got them fighting in evening gowns. It's certain stuff I'm not into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Suburbia Jones said someone who is making high six figures is going to want a supermodel. I don't think that's true.
You're welcome to it.
Yeah, but I don't think that's true, because that woman is only there for your money, and she's not there for you. If something happens to you, just like what's the Tyler Perry movie where the lawyer got sick or whatever, and he was the woman left him or whatever.
Right.
Mad black woman or something like that. And ended up being the wife he did wrong, came back to help her, even though she did him wrong at first. But if they there for your money, they not really there for you. I can see if you may want to sleep with some supermodels, but if you want a real mate, somebody that's there for you, then they might not be the ones. They'll be there using you. Why would you want to be surrounded with somebody that don't really love you for you? I mean, why fool yourself? I mean, you might as well go pay people to be your friends too. You know what I'm saying?
You might as well. But you realize, Jay, a lot of these high six-figure men, they like the trophy, but at the end of the day, if you look at their wives, I mean, now, of course, with the whole, BBL movement, it's a little bit different. However, their wives always painted a different picture than what the arm candy really looked like. Mm. Because when everything is off at the end of the day, you need somebody to have a home with, to take care of, to take care of them. All the other stuff that money's off the table with, you need that to be in a sustainable relationship. So if you don't have that and the work of your relationship is financial, then what do you really have if that's what you have at home?
Exactly. That's true. Why be with somebody that, is only using you? Yeah, you think you using them because you having sex with them, but you never know what they could be plotting or scheming or doing, with you. All for what? $1
they
or two?
They know what these women want, because you know what you putting that out there for. You know what you're going to catch with it, and it's only for but a time.
It's just ironic with who he was caught with. It was a thick girl,
right?
And he died.
He just wasn't like black women.
Women are going to die alone, unmarried. He fell on a girl who he met the night before.
On top of me.
Right. So he died, ironically, the way he said all these women were going to die, the 35-plusers.
That's the crazy part.
Damn, that is kind of crazy, though. You know, 35 years. He's over 35 and was by himself.
And divorced, exactly.
And divorced twice. And he would say the women was something wrong with them if they was in the exact same situation he was in.
Right, below standard if you were in his exact shoes. Exactly, Jay.
I don't understand why women was calling him up to let him. Basically, you getting roasted.
I understand, Moochie.
I'm not understanding all of this. How much energy these people gave him.
Yeah, some people say he gave good advice. I'm not so sure.
From what I heard.
Okay, I'm not so sure. Like I say, I didn't watch him.
Also circulating that said that he said that in order for his platform to evolve, you gotta degrade the black woman. And he followed that.
Is a video saying that?
Yes.
Wow.
He followed the blueprint, and look what happened. But I know I was mentioning to Jay earlier that I think a lot of the women, I should say just people, period, right, that followed him had some sort of insecurity issue. And that's a big statement to make, right? But if you're going to have somebody belittling you and degrade you, what type of people find positivity in that type of interaction? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody's coming at me 24/7,
I don't get
what would make me think that's positive and productive if you're just coming at me in a negative perspective. That just doesn't make any sense. These women want
people like that out. You tune people like that. People, to me, that's saying this ain't glutton for punishment.
Right.
Anybody that called him to get spoken to in that matter,
roasted.
Right. Detroit, one of our Discord own.
Hey, Detroit, how are you?
What's up? Detroit said he did give good advice, but people are too emotional to hear. I didn't never watch his channel a lot like that, so I've seen a few clips. I can't say that I saw him give a lot of good advice, but I'm gonna play this clip where he had a good point, but he uses a very bad example to drive this point home. All right, and here's the clip, and you guys tell me what you think.
Okay.
If you're not getting back to your child's father, how do you think you can make your asset how do you think you can make your child an asset to the kind of man you want to marry?
How can I make my child an asset?
To the kind of man you want to marry.
Now, first he's saying, how can you make your child an asset to the man that you want to marry? Which I think that's a little weird.
It's weird. You see the little guy on the screen who came in?
That's Chris Hansen.
Right.
Weird.
Yeah.
From Dateline.
Yeah, your child.
Predator.
Yeah, your child should not be an asset to your man. Like, he shouldn't be like, yeah, but I like that kid of hers. Yeah, that kid gonna be somebody. Or, yeah, that kid is gonna be cute. Or, yeah, I like your kid to the point where, yeah, that kid is gonna be a plus in our family. I think that's weird. Even if you were saying that kid's gonna be smart or go to the NBA or whatever, so I'm gonna stick with the mom, then that's kind of messed up. Like, you really in it for other reasons than for being with her because you care about her or love her, you know. But he's saying, how could you make your child an asset? This isn't the good point that I was talking about. This is a little weird to me.
But yeah, exactly, it's very weird, Jane. I just wanted to interject a little bit. If somebody, just the fact that somebody would make a statement like that should already put you on pause. Like, why on earth, as you said before, would my child have to be an asset for you? This is a child, point blank and period.
Exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't be an asset to you.
It's like, what does my child have to offer you? You're the adult. What do you have to offer my child?
Right. Yeah, he should be an asset to her and her child.
Because children, we have to raise children, teach them in the way that we want them to grow. So how does a person who has a child now, how does that child have to be an asset to someone? When you really dissect that question is so bizarre. I don't think anybody could make sense out of it.
Right. Yeah, like I look at it as if you are a person with a child, that you're a package deal. Like as a single parent and I had a child, at that point I wouldn't be getting women that are a bust down or ratchet or hood rats. How would that be beneficial to my son seeing that type of woman around all the time? You
Exactly.
know, or a weed head, or, you know what I'm saying, an alcoholic all the time. You know, I would have wanted a woman with a good head on her shoulders, and, you know, so he could see what type of woman, you know, a person should want in their life, instead of thinking it's acceptable to have somebody that's ratchet out there in their life. You know, a lot of times kids learn subliminally by what you have around, you know, and if a woman had kids, she shouldn't want a dope boy in her house with her kids, or some dude that's out running the streets or beating on her or cheating on her. She should want a dude that's there for her and supportive of her and her kids, and not somebody that's going to be beating on her in front of the kids, or, you know, all kind of other things that's a problem. So I think that, and it's a package deal. I couldn't get with a woman and she say, well, I would want to be with you, but you got a kid. I wouldn't try to get rid of my kid for her, you know, and I wouldn't ask a woman that I liked, well, I like you, but you got a kid. You need to get rid of that kid if we gonna be together. That would be wrong. So I think that you would be a package deal, and you should try to find somebody that accepts you for who you are. You shouldn't have to put on a front or hide who you are, or be always on your best behavior or lying. You know, that's not genuine. But let me play the rest of this part.
I feel like I would have to train her to be an asset, as in get her ready for life in general. Put her in classes, make sure she's smart, make sure she's not, you know, put in that time to make her a better person. Right? Am I right?
No, the question is how to make your child an asset to that man. That makes her an okay person. But how can you adopt? And this is a question all women are going to have to answer for themselves. How are my children benefiting you as my husband?
Moochie, what do you think about that? Do you think you should have had your son benefiting some man that you was thinking about being around, or whatever the case may be?
He's not even saying how long they're dating. Let's start with that. Because it's a certain amount of time you give before you even bring your kid around the person you're dating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then we could assume that they've passed a certain level, right? But what I think the question he's saying is so wrong, because what on earth does a child have to bring to any relationship that two adults are involved in?
Right.
So he keeps putting the emphasis on the child. A child brings nothing to a relationship. The parent of the child brings something to a relationship. So the fact that he's drawing emphasis on the child, that within itself is disturbing, because what does a child have to do in regards to the adults in the relationship? That doesn't make sense. The child has no input. So how does the child have to validate anything to the other person? It's the reverse. That other person has to be of some worth to the other parent and the child in the relationship for it to work. I'm just confused how he's phrasing it.
Right. And this is clip is a couple minutes. I'm going to show you this part that really was kind of questionable. Yeah. All right, let's see. I think this is it right here. He talking about is the husband going to come first or the child? And this is his way of saying it, that I thought this was kind of messed up. But here, listen.
My husband. Is my husband going to come first? Or is it we're a package deal? If you're a package deal, that's no deal. I'll be honest, it's a package deal, that's no deal. Because let's say you and I were to get married, you got a daughter, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say we have 2 kids together. Mm-hmm. And your child is 5. So 10 years from now, your daughter comes home and said, Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower.
Touched, then looked.
Oh my goodness.
Cops.
Huh? That's not something the relationship would end immediately.
Because your daughter said...
It says went in. It said would end. The relationship would end is what she said. The relationship would end immediately if her daughter said you tried to touch her or you looked at me coming out the shower. And his response was...
I looked at her getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. Kevin touched me, looked at me getting out of the shower. So that means I should never listen to it. That means I should avoid women like you. Because off the rip, your desire to defend your child blew up. You got 2 of my kids. And off rip, your protective instinct says everything, including those other 2 kids.
All right. That's crazy. So, Kelly, what you think about what he said about if this this woman kid said that, what would you think he's wrong for how he's trying to tell her that pretty much if the kids say he tried to look at them coming out the shower or whatever the case, that they wrong? I think that was crazy how he tried to, as you would say, put the mind trick, the Jedi on her. What do you think?
Because that's exactly what it is, Jay. It's the Jedi. Because, first of all, Jay, there's so many things wrong with this. Why is that the example?
I know, right?
Why is that the example? Why is that... I'm trying to compose myself here. Why use that creepy example basically of pedophilia and molestation to draw your point across? Because at the end of the day, that's what he's asking her to make a judgment call on, right? If I touch or see your daughter coming out of the shower. So, of course, it's a dead end situation, because now pedophilia and molestation is involved in that scenario. Because that's what it is, point blank and period. We're not talking about walking down the block. We're not talking about jumping jacks outside. We're talking about touching and looking at a young child coming out the shower. Yeah. If you present that to me, of course it's over.
Damn right.
I have to put that child first. In whether it's my child or our child, I'm going to put that child first. That's why his initial question is so wrong to me in the first place, because nobody is supposed to ever ask, what can your child bring to the table?
Yeah, and that example is insane. And he said, so I gotta... Yeah, and then he talking about, so I gotta avoid women like you. No, she need to avoid dudes like you. What the hell are you talking about? Right. I can see if he said, I told your kids to go do their homework, and they said, we don't have to listen to you, and then you said, that's right, they don't. That's different.
Exactly. That makes sense, because that would drive his point home that the woman at that point is prioritizing her child and not giving her man the respect that he deserves in the relationship, right?
Right.
So that, what you just said, I could fully understand. Now, if that was his example or anything along those lines, it would make all the sense in the world.
Right.
Because I'm a single mom, and I fell victim to that type of behavior when my son was younger. And it's not a good thing. The sad thing about it is that there's no balance, so there's no one to tell us the opposite of what Kevin Samuels is saying. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You have to protect your child. But also, if you're involving yourself in a relationship, you still have to give that man the respect in the position that he has in that relationship,
Right.
in my opinion.
Within
right?
reason, not,
Within reason,
right.
exactly. So if you're looking at my child coming out of the shower, even if we share that child together, it's a dub. It's a done situation. We cannot go any further.
Right. Damn right.
This is that he's having that talk, that topic of discussion is disturbing within itself.
Right.
Who wants to make a point on pedophilia?
I know that was very extreme,
right?
Very weird, and I wish that woman was a more savvy and answering him and checking him on that, because she said the right thing in that it would be over if that was what was happening. But then he tried to make it seem like, well, she'll be ruining the relationship or messing it up because he got money or this, that. Man, I don't give a damn how much money you got. I'm not pimping my kids out. I don't care if I got a son or a daughter. You couldn't be doing that to either. I wouldn't support that no matter what, And yeah, you should believe your child if your child is telling you those type of stories. Then I mean, that's the worst. The child doesn't normally make that up.
Exactly, but the, like you said, I'm agreeing with you 150%. I wish she was savvy enough with the snapback. You know what I mean? To stand up for what she believed in, because she said, I agree with you. She said the right thing, but I think that his reputation of breaking down the situation, manipulating you with the Jedi, to break that person down so much, like people are a little bit hesitant to stand their ground. Like, I would have said, give me a different example, because this is not valid. And I'm not trying to discuss pedophilia in regards to a topic with children. It should not be discussed.
Right.
If I went into a room and I heard people talking at a table, giving examples of molestation and pedophilia, I could not be in that room. Something would have to, I'm in the wrong place at this point.
Right. Yeah, definitely. Because they done definitely went too far. And like we was talking about on the other show, people will try to justify or, make excuses for behavior that they want. And I don't know him. I'm not going to say what he did or didn't do. But that damn show was a bad example, and he was trying to justify it. And I don't know, man. That's a bad move. So
a broken clock tells the right time twice a day, Jay. So for the folk out there who think that, yes, he had good content as well, if the clock breaks at 6 o'clock, at 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. is going to be right.
Right.
That's what I mean? That's but he, like I said, yesterday was the first day I didn't know he had like a call-in with the video and stuff. I didn't know it was that in-depth. Right. And he really degraded women. I mean, if you were over size 6, you got degraded. If it doesn't matter what happened. I mean, he spoke to a girl. She had a GED, and he told her she was below average. Right, that she was obese as well, so nobody would want her. Then, when she said that, he asked her what she's doing with herself now. She said she's in college. Oh, well, what could you be possibly studying? She said accounting, and then he started to talk about her obesity. Mm-hmm. Because now she, before he was talking about how she couldn't even finish high school, so how could you be a complimentary person to a relationship? Now that she's pursuing higher education, all of a sudden, we don't want to talk about that anymore. We're talking about how you're fat, you're obese, and no man of that caliber would want to be with you. Right. So he did it. When he couldn't take you down one way, he would jab you another way.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, man, women have opportunities all the time. So maybe it may not be the guy you want or whatever, but you can't say a woman will never have a man or whatever, because women get opportunities and hit on all the time, no matter what they look like, at least a couple times a week.
Everybody got somebody.
Yeah, you ain't lying. Suburbia.
It's whether they want that person or not, like you said, Jay. It's whether they want that person or not, okay?
Right. Suburbia Jones must be a Kevin Samuels supporter, but he said he's talking about whether you would believe it if your daughter said it, absence of any proof. Kelly,
wow.
Would you believe
That's why
it?
there's so many children today that are molested, and it goes unaddressed because of statements like that. And Suburbia, I'm not trying to come at you, sweetie. What I'm saying is, when a child makes that level of accusation,
you got to take it serious.
The child first.
Yeah, you got to take it
I'm
serious.
not saying that some children may not have sociopathic tendencies where they fabricate these stories, because it's valid that those instances has happened in life. However, you protect the child first.
Right.
But the point we were trying to make is this man making a statement to this woman that has to do with molestation and pedophilia. That was the point. To drive a point home that specific example did not, it wasn't tailored to. That was the point we were talking about, Suburbia.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Barika for the super chat. She said, I find it interesting that men clown Steve Harvey for giving advice because he's married 3 times, yet they praise Kevin Samuels, who's been divorced and estranged from his kids, divorced twice.
Right.
So, yeah, that's a good, interesting point. Malik Jackson said, if the women believed that there would have been a chance being degraded, they shouldn't have called Kevin's channel. I agree, but some people like to get attention and so-called feel like they famous and had a 10 minutes of fame or whatever. And some people believe in all publicity is good publicity. And I don't understand why a lot of these people called to forget the stuff he said either here, but they did. I don't understand it. Kelly, why you think some of these ladies did that?
Sorry, Jay, I'm back.
Yeah.
I think that these women really have an invested interest in finding a quality man.
Right.
And what he sells is the ability to attach yourself to that quality man, right? Whether you're in it for money, whether you're really in it for, because you want that perfect match, whatever the reason may be, he's selling what these women want. The sad thing about it is, I think it's very far and removed from reality.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once you're segregating an entire group of people, then that means you're now no longer speaking to the general public. And you can't categorize everybody in that pot of gumbo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Suburbia, I've seen it a few times. I'm not putting words in his mouth. Y'all can find that clip. I'll even put the link if y'all want to watch it. But I'm not about to play the whole 6-minute clip over, and do that. But,
right. We did watch it, Suburbia. That was one of the clips that I saw and we were able to look at. That was actually the first clip that I've ever seen of him. And yeah, we were able to dissect it. And we're not saying that the big picture was wrong, but the examples were so skewed that he lost the big picture.
Mm-hmm.
Because where he was really going was not false. We could both agree with that, right, Jay? Where he was going wasn't false, because a lot of women come in and all of a sudden you're the father, you're the man, you're the king man in the relationship, right? When it's convenient to them, it's my kid. And when the woman needs something, you're supposed to be their, stepfather or Uncle Joe or whatever the hell you call them, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is a problem like that does exist. But when you boil it up in molestation and pedophilia, I'm going to say it again because that's what it is. How am I supposed to get the point?
Right. Yeah, that was a horrible example. That's just a horrible example. And I'm with the lady. Ain't no way, for one, your child shouldn't be an asset. So that didn't make sense. This started off wrong. And yeah. And then if you say, for an example, if my child is saying that you staring at them or looking at them or touch them coming out the shower, and I believe them, you mad talking about this ain't gonna work because I believe them. Nah, man, that's too much. Even if I was with a woman and my son said, this woman be touching me when I come out the shower when he was a little kid, we would have a problem. Even if he was 18 and he said my wife or girlfriend or whatever is trying to touch him or do something, we would have a problem. Like, what? Like, this ain't about to work. So, right. I don't know. Tamika's den, she said she can't continue. It made her upset. I don't know what happened, why you got upset. I'm sorry you got upset, but you take care. Hope you feel better. I mean, nobody's sitting here defending that type of behavior. I mean, if anything, calling it out a little bit.
Calling it out, period, Jay.
Right. So Detroit said, respectfully, Kelly, you really didn't watch him. You only watched clips. He wasn't being disrespectful all the time. Well, we're not saying it's all the time, but, you know. But
I'm specifically referring to what I saw. I can't talk about the things that I didn't see. But every clip that I did see was awful. And like I said, a broken clock tells the right time twice a day. So I can't say this guy was 150% wrong all the time, because you're right. I didn't look at his content. And had I seen it before, matter of fact, I heard of him before. And I made an informed decision with myself not to partake in that type of behavior, because I'm not a woman that supports that type of rhetoric. But for the clips that I did see, that's what I'm speaking about, not anything else.
Right. Leon McDonald, just say your comments, man. It seems that they're not blocking you because you keep having comments complaining about being blocked. So just say your comment, and, you know, try not to be using profanity. And I'm not saying you was, but, you know, just say your comments and it'll come through. This isn't a place where people block people for having a difference of opinion. So he said that the mods are blocking them. They don't do that, but they won't. We don't have a lot of people being disrespectful and cussing people out or calling people out of their names. We try to, you know, disagree or agree respectfully, you know, so that's fine. Shout out to Encouraging Warrior. She said Vivica Fox said that his death was karma. Did you hear about that, Kelly?
Yes. I'm not going to say anybody's death is karma, because everybody's going to die, okay? And I don't want to, I'm not going to subscribe to that, because when people die, it's not because of karma.
Right.
I don't attribute it to that. But and I didn't listen to. I saw the clip, but I really didn't listen to it. But I'm not saying that it was karma, right? I'm never going to be happy that a family is suffering because of the loss of their loved one, right? But I can blatantly say, for what I heard, there's no way that I would condone what he's saying. But do I want to say he should have died because he was saying that craziness? Absolutely not. I think he should not have been able to continue. But do I want to say I hope he died? Absolutely not. Because I have people out here who may not like what I'm saying. I don't want them to wish death on me because I have an opinion.
Right. Definitely. I definitely agree with that. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And, you know, like I've said before, on different videos, even in Discord, me personally, I don't believe in karma. So I think life is random and things happen. And sometimes I do believe in coincidences. Not to say everything is a coincidence that may happen. Sometimes it is plans and conspiracies and stuff. But, you know, I think it was coincidental. He may have been like a lot of black men and don't keep up with their health. And he probably didn't know he had a bad heart. Obviously, he had a heart attack.
Well, they say he was down in Red Bulls on a consistent basis. That ain't the healthiest drink.
I wouldn't say that'd kill you. Basis. Yeah, I don't know enough about Red Bull. I don't drink Red Bull unless I was drinking it with like Jägermeister back in the day. So I don't really know.
Rum and Red Bull. Rum and Red Bull was my drink at one point. But right. I mean, I didn't down it every day. But
right. So I don't know. I just think that it was a coincidence that he passed after some of the things he said. And
he was eventually gonna die, Jay. That's just human. That's the end of human life, is death. So whatever he was saying, at some point he was going to die, and this would have been it. They would have said it. Had he died at 99, they would have said it eventually. Karma caught up for him at that point too, if that be the case.
Right. Liam McDonald said, why didn't you get some men's perspective on this situation? You guys are commenting now. And a lot of guys that I try to talk to come on don't like to come on or show their face. And I can't have people.
Isn't your perspective a man's perspective, Jay? I mean,
that's true.
It's not only females here. You're a guy.
I guess they look at me as like the moderator or something, so I ain't gonna be. I'm not really counting, I guess. I don't know. But, you know, that is what it is. Liam, you got to stop typing the same stuff back to back to back, too, man. Relax. I can see why you may have had a problem with your NBA fan thing, man. Chill, man. Relax. And I don't drop the link anymore because people don't know how to be respectful when they come up. I used to put the link in for people to join. People start cursing, playing stuff, yelling, all kind of things. So only time I allow people to come is if they are a member of the Discord. And what I'll do is I will put the link for members of the Discord to come up if they want to talk about it. All right. That's the only time I allow people to come. So you do have to be a member of this channel's membership and part of the Discord. That way I know who you are. I know you're not a troll. I know you're not going to come up and do foul stuff and yell and scream and say all kind of, you know, things. So I put the link in the Discord. If you want to come up and chime in, you're more than welcome to. All right. Encouraging Warrior said Red Bull and Viagra is a bad mix. Rumor has it. I heard that, but I never heard that until after he died. So, what I've heard, I do know that Viagra works with your heart and blood. It was actually a heart medication is what they was trying to find.
Right.
And then it actually got your brain working, you know.
Right.
So, you know what I'm saying? So, that's what happened with that. So, I mean, I don't know, like I said, enough about Red Bull, so to say what it does or doesn't do. I would think alcohol and other things will probably be more harmful, but again, I don't know. So I'll be learning something new.
Extreme uppers. If the Viagra gets your blood pumping, and then you give it another blood pumping thing, then
it is what it is.
Exactly.
All right, I got another clip I'm going to play. Shout out to my girl Barika, who wasn't able to join us tonight, but she did send some good clips. This was a clip, Kevin Samuels. It says, before Kevin Samuels decided to lie on women and lie to women to make his men viewers feel good for more likes, views, and proceeds. Now, I haven't seen this clip myself, but I'm about to watch it now, so let's see what it say. He does look a lot younger and skinnier.
Yeah.
All right.
A lot of times, guys don't want to hear that truth. We just don't. You know, if I come on here talking about, you know, female nature, such and so forth, and if I would start bashing women or talking noise, oh man, the likes and everything would go through the roof. But when you start talking to men saying, guys, You know, cheap is some of the most expensive stuff out there. You got, a lot of times, guys don't want to hear that truth.
I guess so. What he's saying is that he decided to bash women to get likes and things, and he didn't want to tell the truth. Just like how we talk and say things now is not going to never get the popularity of Kevin Samuels. But, I mean, I would rather be honest and say what I believe and not be successful and not make a lot of money than make a lot of money saying things and lying or being ingenuine. Now, if I genuinely felt like he does, then I wouldn't have a problem with that. But I don't genuinely feel that way, so I wouldn't say that. We lost Kelly over here. Connection problem. But, you know, that is what I think, you know, and here we go with Kelly. So that's why I wouldn't say something like that. But if that's what he really believed, then I wouldn't have had a problem with him saying it. I wouldn't agreed with it, but at least he was being real. It shows here he really didn't believe what he was saying, but he knew it would make him successful, so he said it.
Right, because he, at that point, but what I get from the video is telling men the truth. They were sensitive too, so he took an alternate route in regards to the females, and he got what he wanted.
Yeah, man, all money ain't good money. So let me see. It's another clip she sent me. Let me see if I got this other clip. But I ain't gonna spend too much more time on him. I guess it's about to be, you know.
And you realize, basically, Jay, from the comments, that he's triggering to a lot of people, and period, men and women, people who support him and people who disagree with him. It's triggering on both sides because the content was meant to do that. Like he said just now in the last clip, it was meant to do that.
Candace Williams said when he was never a woman before, he said women are devalued by kids. So how wasn't he devalued? Double standard. He gave me typical I don't get girls I wanted before money, so I'm mad now energy. Oh, that does make a lot of sense. As far as the end part, he did have that.
He was given incel energy, right? I think it was Candace that he was given incel energy.
Right. Yeah. That energy, I did pick up a little bit of, I didn't get the girls I wanted before money, so I'm mad now energy. I didn't watch a lot of Kevin Samuels, but it did seem a little bit of that. And now that I can get those girls, all the girls that I may have been with before or that did show me attention, I'm about to, shit on you now. Because now I don't have to be nice and take what I can get. So, I don't know. I just think that was a little bit of what he's saying. Liam said, so saying that women who are overweight and combative won't get a high-value man and outlining the reasons why is him not lying. Well, he didn't always put both of those together. He would say just being overweight, period.
Yeah.
You could be...
Overweight for him was below standard.
Right.
Undervalued, below standard.
Because if you was in good shape and combative is a problem. A combative person, man or woman, is a problem. Who wants to have a combative partner?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I don't care what your value is.
Mm-hmm.
You could be rich or poor. I don't want a combative partner. And what woman wants a man that's combative? How much money he make? He make a lot of money, but he beats me. But it's okay because he can buy me, steak and lobster, or we could go on a trip where he'll beat me there or argue with me and embarrass. Who wants that? So I don't know.
The woman nagging for everything because she's just mad at the world. So I agree with you, Jay. Combative is bad across the board.
Right. Definitely. So I don't know. Damian Kinney said men don't subscribe to channels as much as women do. I don't know about that. Cause
he had a lot of male followers. A lot of men subscribed to his channel, to his points of view.
YouTube has analytics, so like on my channel, it's over 60% of my subscribers are male. Over 60%. So I mean, that's a lot of male subscribers. You never know. I think maybe a lot of more women may have subscribed to him than, 40% of his followers. It may have been 50-50 maybe. But women are more supportive with their subscription.
Right.
They'll engage more, comment more, do other things more than a guy. Definitely will support you monetarily more than a man will, because men are cheap when it comes to doing some things a woman will do, because women have a lot more giving nature a lot of times than men. Not all men, but a guy will want you to read every comment and do this and do that, but won't send $1 your way ever, but act like you owe them or something. Men are a lot more demanding for nothing and think that you should be catering to them, which women are not that way. So definitely I see a lot of that. A lot of the women that he probably was talking to, well, maybe you would think is his target audience, but I wouldn't be surprised if more than 50% of the people that watched him were men. I wouldn't be surprised.
You could see, a lot of these comments that are, I guess, promoting people being happy about his death are coming from women, because women were really bothered by this content. Yes, he had a specific demographic of women that were calling in, but for the most part, a lot of women are really bothered, triggered by the content. So I do think, from the outside looking in, real far outside, that he did have a large male following. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because when you watch the comments, we all have social media presence to some degree or the other. You know that the men are disturbed by how women are coming out and voicing their opinion in regards to negativity and trauma from his content.
Yeah, like I can see some of the clips that I have seen, but me having a comedic nature, it made me laugh, some of the stuff off top initially.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see why women would be upset. And I can see how a man, I don't know, I won't say a weak-minded man, because I don't know the men's mind and this and that, but I can see how, for whatever reason, some men may think what he's saying is true or give it some validity. But if I will say this, if you have more experience in a lot of the things he's talking about, you probably wouldn't see the validity in some of the things he's saying. But was it maybe to a person funny or entertaining? Maybe. Like, it was funny, a giggle, but it wasn't enough where I had to tune in and see more. You know what I mean? Like a Real Housewives type thing. Some of the stuff they do or argue or say may be funny or interesting, but it wasn't enough that made me want to tune in. When I did try to do reviews for that show, because ladies was asking me, it was difficult for me to watch it every week because it was not interesting enough. It felt like a job. And I don't like to watch something I really don't like. I don't enjoy it. It wasn't, sometimes they'll say this or do that and I would laugh or whatever, but it wasn't a comedy, or they wasn't, you know what I mean, always on point like that. So
Didn't do good on the most score, Jay.
nah, not at all. And to see all those beautiful, successful women mad and arguing, it made me mad. Like, what are y'all mad about? Y'all are fine, wealthy.
That's the energy,
doing
Jay.
Yeah, that was just horrible. And I just didn't like that. Trinae, you gotta mute your YouTube. Yeah, you gotta echo.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah, you gotta turn your volume down or mute that YouTube.
Okay, I just turned my TV off because I
All
was
right.
watching YouTube on my TV.
All right. No, I still got it. You gotta mute that YouTube or something because it's an echo bad. All right. Well, I don't know. This brother right here is a married man, and he drops a little bit of knowledge from the married man and what he thinks about women from that perspective. I'm gonna play this clip and let's see what he's talking about. I haven't seen this clip either, but it was sent to me from a trusted source, so I will be watching this for the first time also. So let's see.
Conversation about legacy, shall we? Legacy, by definition, is two things. One is generational wealth that is passed down to your children for over 10 years. Your money is so long, so strong, it can carry 10 generations. Or a legacy is a value, a tradition, or a principle, like a quinceañera for a young lady, or for a young man, a bar mitzvah. This is the time when you walk into womanhood or you walk into manhood. And those principles and values are so strong, they pour into your children for a long, long time. It impacts them in a place that 20 generations, right, can go, man, this was something that was powerful, that helped us to become strong. Because based on the death of Kevin Samuels, a lot of you said he left a legacy. But the question is, what legacy will you leave as a man? And if dying in the bed with a woman is a legacy to you, then that means you just died of thought. You died thoughting. So what is legacy to you? What does true legacy mean to you as a man? So,
all right. That was very interesting. We got Trinae coming back. Trinae, let me hear you. I don't hear an echo. So.
Hello. I'm here.
All right.
Hey.
All right. So.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Before we get to you, Kelly, what do you think about what he said about legacy and Kevin Samuels and just men in general and women in legacy?
I love his definition of legacy. It's spot on with what I think legacy is, or what I know legacy to be. Yes, you have generational wealth. One of the considerations of legacy, and our heritage, what we pass down, our culture, is a part of our legacy, right? And he said it perfectly. Like, for example, in the Jewish community, the bat mitzvah, the bar or bat mitzvah, showing you're entering into womanhood or manhood, that's a part of their legacy, right? And everything has good and bad, right? So I agree that Kevin Samuels did leave a legacy. Now, is it an admirable legacy? Some may beg to differ, right? Because of the negative rhetoric that he spewed continuously. Now, so yes, I do believe he left a legacy, and I am, it's a scary one. That's how I feel about it. It's a scary one. You see how he died? That's not my concern. You know how many people die like that? Wasn't it a great thing for men back in the day?
I was just about to say, I wouldn't mind dying in between some cheeks now. I don't think that's the worst way. But it is a woman he just met and barely knew. So that might have been the bad part about it.
Right. Right. But hopefully, some point at that time he had a happy ending, right? But this is how men say they want to die. So I don't attribute the legacy to how he passed. How he passed is unfortunate. I would never want to hear any family member of mine, whether I like them or not, keeling over in that capacity, right? But he did leave a legacy, and I think it was a negative one, and I think it was a scary one. And not listening to his entire body of content, but more so seeing the hurt feelings of women, and not saying scarred women or abused or cantankerous women or, argumentative women, just in general, women. These are these women who are scarred that got to raise your children, your baby mamas, your wives, your sisters. These are women across the board in a general consensus that were triggered and hurt by his content. So I believe he did leave a legacy, and I think it's a negative one.
Right. All right, Trinae, what you think about what we've been talking about tonight and his legacy and all of this other stuff?
Yeah, I just wanted to piggyback off of what Kelly Lee said. I only caught a little bit of the video where the guy was talking about legacies and everything. But, I mean, as far as, my perspective of, Kevin Samuels, I just believe that he just left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. And that's why you got certain people saying certain things about him. And, at the end of the day, look, everybody's entitled to their opinion. Everybody's entitled to their emotions and how they feel. But I just wish that, the video that Barika had posted up about him, when Kevin Samuels was, in his earlier posts, what happened to you, being positive and saying positive things about women and stuff like that. But I guess
wasn't making money.
Yeah, exactly. You wasn't getting the kind of attention that you was looking for. And then, of course, you went over to the dark side. You sold your soul, a.k.a., you know what I'm saying? And now, it's like, you got to deal with the consequences of your actions. Look, you made your bed and now you got to lay in it. Look, this is what happens when you spew nothing but toxic, in on the media and stuff, and then you expect people to feel sorry for you. It's messed up what happened, you know what I'm saying? But hey, at the end of the day, look who you wind up sharing your last moments with. If you would have knew
was she
what
black?
was about to happen. She was some kind of islander or something, like a
Filipino or something.
Yeah.
Like a Filipino or something like that. So the police report, I believe, indicated.
And on the 911 call, it sounded like she was kind of concerned or, worried about, getting him some help and everything like that. But come on now, this is not your cousin or, your wife or somebody, She didn't really sound that frantic on the 911 call.
Can I say something, Jay?
Go ahead.
I want to add on to what Trinae just said, right? Now, I believe myself to be a fair woman, right? So I have my opinions about Kevin Samuels. But I agree, she didn't seem to be that frantic. Because when I listened to the recording, I guess a lot of people have, when they asked her what the apartment was, why she didn't just run and look at the door?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes people, I don't know, I didn't hear it. I'm just playing devil advocate. Sometimes people freeze under pressure.
You see, if she had been a layman and not in that field, maybe I would have understood. I could even understand her not wanting to run downstairs in fear of leaving him, right? Because she said he was turning blue. But they asked for the apartment number. Unless he had wings to his apartment and she was in the far left wing and the door was in the far right wing, then maybe I could understand that. Why you didn't just go look at the door outside the door to see?
Teresa probably is joking right here. But she said he probably blindfolded her so she didn't know where she at. I'm pretty sure she joking. But wasn't this woman supposedly a nurse?
And stuff, they do a lot of crazy stuff for people not to know where they actually live.
They should have just went to a hotel then, if that's the case.
I guess.
Wasn't she a nurse though? Why she didn't do CPR? She didn't want to kiss him?
She was doing CPR on him, but he was dying. You know, he was dying. And this is why I say I don't condone people celebrating his death. This man was dying in front of this woman. You know what I mean? So all of the stuff that I disagree with aside, he was dying. He was turning blue. He keeled over on her. She knew he was dying.
Another point, though, right quick, is that he talked about all these overweight women. He was not overweight, but he died probably before some of these overweight women may. One thing I used to...
He persecuted them for the certain things, and he died that exact way.
Yeah.
And we don't know what his personal habits is. We don't know what his eating habits is. We don't know what he do in his leisure time.
Right.
We don't know his medical history or any of that sort.
And Larry Jones and Support Gaming, y'all just popping in, so you all didn't hear the whole story. Nobody's blowing his name down after death, and nobody's hating on this dude after he died. So that's not nothing about what it is. Yeah, you should watch the whole video.
A mature conversation.
Right. Ain't nobody hating on him. That's what things that he would do is hate on people. I'm not hating on him or nothing. We just talking about his legacy, some of the things he said, some of the points that he would make, and just discussing it. That's all. Nobody is trying to put nobody down or crap on his name or whatever. I mean, the legacy he left and the name and things he left is sealed. You know, and that's the unfortunate thing about death. He has no way to now change his mind, recant, or do anything to repair or make amends for anything he has done. And that's, you know, the thing about with all of us. As long as you alive, you got a chance to, you know, right wrongs that you may have had. I mean, I don't know anybody that hasn't made mistakes or did somebody wrong or have something that they would like to correct in life. And you never know when your day may come. I'm sure he didn't think that was going to be his last day.
I don't think so.
Yeah, so, you know, whatever legacy are you going through, try to make the most of your days or whatever. And nobody's misrepresenting that his talking points. We're playing the clips, and then I was talking about what he just said. So it's no misrepresentation because I'm not just saying stuff. I'm actually playing the clip and then talking about it. So whether you agree with it or not is one thing, but to say somebody's misrepresenting means that someone's doing something intentional or on purpose, or I'm trying to make it seem as if I know this or he didn't know that or whatever, which is not the case. You know,
you're not doing what he did on a continuous basis.
Exactly. So,
or for that fact, we're not speaking about somebody who didn't live their life in the public eye for how many years. It would have been a different story had we been talking about somebody's personal life that nobody has a fair objective about.
Right.
We're talking about somebody who vocally put their opinion out into the public forum for the ability to have a discussion about it. I mean, are we going to lose any sleep because of what he said? No.
Right. And Liam, you all over the place, man. I can see why you having issues tonight from some of the stuff that's coming out. You've been all over the place. And what you're saying is not what I said. So he said he can't even get it out right. He talking about she should overweight. She should overweight women not lose weight. At J Moore Reviews, that commentary make no sense. Who said that? I did not say that. I said it's ironic. It's basically I was pointing out the irony that this man that was supposedly in good shape, downing women who are out of shape, saying all of these things about them, ended up passing before them. So that's why I said I don't believe in karma earlier. If you was paying attention instead of typing, you know, over and over again, whatever you talking about blocked or whatever you've been having a problem tonight, is that it's ironic, and it's no such thing as karma. You could say all these things, but random things can happen. You could try to exercise, never smoke, never drink, and still have cancer, while the crackheads stand out in front of the liquor store for 30 years begging for change and outlive you. Like, it doesn't make sense sometimes. Now, I'm not going to say go ahead and smoke crack then. No. But you can't say if you do this, that, and the other, you're guaranteed a certain outcome. It increases your chances, but it does not mean that everything is going to be okay. You know, I worked in a group home. It was people that were slim. You would have thought they was in shape. They were type 1 diabetics, you know, and they were super sick, where their roommate was eating everything in the house and then have nothing. Now, would they maybe develop type 2? Maybe not. Who knows? Life is random that way. So you can't just talk about people and think you're better than somebody because you got more money or because you're slimmer than them or whatever the case. Nobody can say that they saw me up here downing people, and I'm talking about on a real level, not on making jokes about a character on a TV show. I won't sit there and down the human, the person, and say this, that, and the other. You know, that's just on a whole nother level. So, you know. Anyway, a lot of people say I should even ignore you anyway. So, let's see. Keith said, I don't know if it was him bashing women who were overweight. I think he might have been hinting at women being honest with themselves. Okay.
So, I saw a clip today in regard to him talking to a woman who was he said she was obese, right? He asked her about her education. He asked her about her income, and she passed those with flying colors. And then he said to her, the fact that you're obese makes you below average and nobody would want you anyway. That was a blatant statement. I saw like maybe 3 or 4 videos with that overweight content. And he blatantly said, the fact that you're obese, because I'm an image consultant, I know what people look at, you are below average just because of your weight alone.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you know.
But that was only like 4 videos. So I mean, maybe he had 170,000 more videos saying something else. I only saw 4 with him blatantly saying that the fact that you are obese means, because he asked a lot of women, as I heard in the videos that I saw between yesterday and today, what was your height? What was your weight? And these were full videos. I watched the full videos, not clips.
And I was about to say, he making 3.5-hour videos.
Yeah, I saw something. That's what I said between yesterday and today.
I'm not about to watch no 3-4 hours. Damn, every video he make is The Godfather up in this piece. Like, damn.
But you know, like the Titanic, had videos talking about their weight and his, you know, in his styling career, his image consultant career, he compared them to what a size 4 and 6 looked like and how they could vary and differ, and what obese looks like to be below average, automatically below average, and then everything else made them sub-zero if they didn't, you know, fit his standard or his mold. And this world is so diverse that just the fact that he would say these things with such conviction means that you were demoralizing a large population of women. Some women who are fighting insecurities, who have problems accepting the reality. Mm-hmm. Right? Because it's not that women are void of accepting reality. People are void, and includes women, right?
Right.
So, yes, he could have been specifically talking to certain people who were void of accepting the responsibility for themselves. However, the manner in which he did it was so derogatory that you're hurting as opposed to actually helping. That's why I say a lot of these women that called in, I believe strongly that their common denominator was insecurity. Because I ain't gonna let nobody talk to me like that, because I'm very secure in who I am. I'm secure enough to be strong. I'm secure enough to be submissive. I'm strong enough to understand, to be nurturing. So I don't think somebody could talk to me that way, because I see my strengths and values in all of these different situations, whether I fit a person's personal mold or not. Mm-hmm. A lot of women don't face that strength on an everyday basis. So I could see how they would feel attacked. Sorry, Trinae. Going.
Yeah. I would just wanted to add, like, if I'm calling to a show like that and trust to believe, I gotta really like humble myself to really like get to the point where I'm gonna actually call the Kevin Savage show to get some kind of advice. But look, I go ahead and humble myself anyway, and then I'm seeking for some kind of mature advice. But instead, you sitting here attacking me, belittling me, making me feel less than. I didn't come and call you for all that. I deal enough with that on a daily, and I come to you as a black man for you to give me some kind of like, encouragement, no pun to my name. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? What's up with all the hostility? What's up with all the nastiness and all that? I understand. It's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Right. Don't give me vinegar. Give me a little bit of honey. But
exactly.
Let me say this, right? Judge Judy made her career on being nasty to people, right? Because she was really derogatory to people. She told them, she spoke to them out their face too, right? You have all the Maury's and Jerry Springers. They had derogatory content too. And derogatory content sells. Mm-hmm. So to me, he's in that category. He's fully in that category.
Detroit got a question for you. He said,
okay,
the doctor tell us to lose weight all the time. What's the problem with Kevin trying to help somebody? I would answer this, but he asked you, so I'll let you answer.
Okay, so the problem I find with that is telling them that because he's not saying in order to attract this high-valued man that you are interested in, it would be in your best interest to take your health more in the forefront, to focus more on your health, to lose weight, because men are visual. And when a man looks at you, he wants to be aesthetically pleased by you. Being overweight, one, is not healthy in totality, right? And two, if you want to attract this guy who is attracted to women of a certain size, then you're going to have to fit that mold. I just said it blatantly, right? I didn't say it to offend anybody. What he did say, however, is that you were subpar in value because you were overweight, that you couldn't fit the bill. And he said it in a derogatory capacity, just like Trinae said, right? The way in which he said certain things was so derogatory that the impact was negative and triggering. That's the reason why. So he wasn't being constructive about his criticism. He was being demoralizing and everything bad.
So it's how he said it.
Exactly.
Right.
He didn't say it in the right context. Just the same way he talked about the pedophilia.
Ron said, okay, I'm overweight. If he said that to me, I'd pimp slap out his boots.
It's how you say certain things to people that would cause positive effects.
Right.
You see a woman and how they're acting. I mean, he drew women to celebrate his death. How low can we go celebrating someone's death now?
That's messed up. I would never say to do that to anybody unless you are a pedophile or a murderer of some mass murdering stuff. But other than that, I wouldn't say, and even then, I wouldn't like have a party or nothing, but I'd be like, well, they kind of got what they deserve. But I wouldn't celebrate this man's death. He wasn't that, even if you think he was bad, He wasn't
Right.
bad to the point where you celebrate his death. I wouldn't celebrate even a president's death or nothing like that. Whether it's Biden or Trump or whoever, I wouldn't celebrate nobody's
Just
death.
because you disagree with their points of view.
Yeah, that's kind of messed up.
I disagree with his point of view, but I am a mother. I would never want for my son to say something that people didn't agree with and they wish death upon him. You understand what I'm saying? So even though I blatantly disagree with his content, and of course I have a right to, but I wish that wasn't in the picture. I wish that wasn't in the mix, because to me that sort of dilutes the point that we really have to deal with, because it's such a negative thing to wish death on people.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's horrible. That's horrible. I mean, I've offended a lot of people in my life.
Right.
I'm not saying, I mean, I've, enriched way more than I've offended, but just because I offend you, you gotta wish death on me? Like, that's lame. That's a dub.
Right. Teresa, we actually played that clip earlier and talked about that. So if you missed it, you can hear what we said about that clip where he was telling the woman that it would be a problem if she believed her child, if the child said he was looking at her coming out the shower or touched her. And somebody tried to say we misrepresented what he said. I played the clip. You can hear what he said out his own mouth. Yeah. And
he reiterated it time and time again. It's not like if he just said it once and it was like, okay, I'm going to just talk about this in a soft way. He reiterated it. He continued to say it over and over and over again. So what if she said, I looked at her or touched her coming out of the shower?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
And I just wanted to add on what Kelly Lee was talking about when he was talking about the overweight woman. Like, just because you per se don't like overweight women doesn't mean that other men don't prefer overweight women. And second of all, in other countries, such as in Africa, they cherish overweight women. They look at, being plump as a sign of wealth over there. So I don't understand, like, why would he sit there and just focus on her weight just because yes, she has the education and yes, she has, income and everything. And then he just finds something else to just, degrade her on.
Right.
Like, no, I didn't call your show to be degraded. Like, I come there to try seeking advice.
To be degraded, because what else would you be looking for? You couldn't have been looking for upliftment.
Yeah,
I saw a girl who fit his profile. She was slender, she was petite, she made 6 figures, high end of 6 figures, and when she fit the mold, he told her she was ugly. So that means you're below average because you're ugly anyway. And high valued men don't like ugly women. She fit everything else, and he was like, he had nothing else to say, and he was just like, well, your little entrepreneurial endeavors are subpar anyway, and you're ugly.
Right.
Wow.
I mean, blatantly, there was no buff in it. There was no buff in it. And I just want to say real quick, I don't want to take over, in regards to what Key is saying, the thing that we're talking about now is Kevin Samuel's rhetoric. We're not saying that men are supposed to be thick-skinned when women treat them or speak about them unfairly, because it's an unfair banner no matter who does it. When it comes to men towards women, when it comes from women towards men. If a woman was doing this to black men, it would be horrendous. It would be hideous. I have a son. I don't want my son to meet a woman who's going to emasculate him and demoralize him. So we're speaking about one specific topic, and I think we're staying on topic, but it's wrong regardless. So if there was a woman speaking exactly like Kevin Samuels to men, or women speaking like that about men, that would be wrong too.
Yeah, Tornay, it's a bunch of music or something in the background or something playing.
Okay, well, I'm about to exit out anyway, but
all right,
it's been nice talking to y'all.
All right, I appreciate you coming. And,
see you in Discord, hon.
Yeah, talk to you in a little bit. All right. I see what Key is saying, and I'm just saying, in my experience, women ain't never talked to me bad. So I don't understand what you mean that way to women the way women talk to men. What does women... I don't know. I'm not saying I'm all this or that. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody, people argue and get to arguments and things, but I never had women like try to downplay me or down me and stuff like that. So I don't know exactly what you mean by that. Nika S says, see how Kelly Lee just worded the whole weight and men being visual. What she said wasn't offensive at all. It was direct, to the point, and wasn't demeaning at all. So, and Rich Saldana said, how many millionaires want overweight? How many millionaires are in Africa?
Well, there's a lot of millionaires in Africa. Might want to Google it, Rich. But, oh, wow. I don't think I want to move after saying there's a lot of millionaires in Africa. Because,
I don't know what that's supposed to mean, though.
Yeah, when I replied to that part, I was just like, no, I think I want to go further than that. But you know what?
Larry Jones said, you never mentioned the fact that it's a norm that black women disrespect black men. They speak like that daily. Where is this happening? I haven't had black women disrespect me on a regular in my life. I ain't never had nothing but love from black women. Now, if you're in a relationship with somebody, of course people may argue or something, but I never had no woman like down me all the time. So I don't know what that is. I'm not, if somebody say you can't go out like this, I'm just saying, I don't know what men are doing to get disrespected on the daily by some women. But no, I don't know what Key is talking about. I mean, I've had nothing but love from women, and I mean, I guess it's all about what you put out, you get back. So, well, I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
I could answer it.
Key, I can't believe, Key, let me just say this, Key, I don't think women disrespecting you on the daily, man. Keep it real. I don't think women disrespecting you. Me and Key talk, he in Discord. You can't tell me that you be out dressed nice, doing what you do, and women be calling you a bum or talking crazy to you or disrespecting you. I don't see how that's happening. But if that's what you say happens, so be it. This is a comment he posted before what I just said. But he said, I'm saying this to say, if a woman were to address a man about being overweight the same way Kevin Samuels was talking to the women, we expected to just have thick skin and not trip. I never had a woman to dress and talk to me like him, no. Like a woman, a lot of times will not talk to you the way he does. Or they'll say, you know, baby, you should lose some weight. Or, you know what I'm saying? Say some other thing. They never be like, you fat. You ain't worth this coochie. I'm about to go get me a man that's in shape that can do 100 sit-ups. Because you a low-value fat ass. No, I ain't never came across that. So,
right, but Jay, to what I just said, if any woman was out there speaking the exact way Kevin Samuels spoke to men, that would be wrong too. I believe I just said that, right? That would be wrong too. I'm thinking what they mean is, you know how women carry on towards men, he don't got enough money, he can't talk to me. I think that's the primary thing, right? That you have women that have that, to me, materialistic and negative outlook, right? And I think that really is pushed to the forefront. I think I'm objective because I have a son, right? I have a son in his early 20s. And I don't want no female to approach my son in that capacity. I don't want her to demean him because he don't have the type of money to buy her a Birkin bag. Or he don't have the money to buy her a Chanel purse or whatever so she could profile to her friend, right? And to take what he has to break him down, because that's the only how you could talk to her. If you have financial gains to give her by means of depleting what he has for himself. So I think I understand where they're coming from in that regard. And to me, it is based on money. Because women, to me, I can't say younger, women, right? Certain women have that premise that if you don't got enough money, you cannot talk to me. And I don't support that either. I don't subscribe to that. Like I said, I think I have a fair platform because I wouldn't want some woman to watch my son or a female to watch my son who's in school, who's doing what he needs to do to get to the next level. And you don't want to talk to him because he don't got enough guap in his pocket for you. That don't make no sense.
So I'll say this. I have come across some women that I may try to holler at, and I wasn't probably successful making enough money to be with them. But they ain't never say, you broke ass, you can't holler at this or that. They would just be like, nah, I'm good. Or, you know, could you take me to this spot, or we going here or there? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know about that, or something like that. And then that would be it. They wouldn't like go down deep on me like a Kevin Samuels type thing.
Right.
Or, you know, I never had a woman like tear me down like that. I guess.
Knowing how you get torn down is when you feel it. Like, you know, like,
yeah, I've been rejected. Yeah, I've been rejected, and maybe that hurt, but it was more of me looking back at it now. Like, say I really liking you, and I work up the courage. This was even more when I was younger at that. Because by the time I was in my 20s, even at 18, I wasn't all shy to talk to a woman, 17. But, you know, in my early, 8th grade, early high school years, work up the courage to talk to that girl you like, and she shoots you down, she wouldn't be like, no, you ain't this, you ain't that, da-da-da. She'd just be like, no, I'm good, or, no thank you, or whatever the case. And then I might be hurt inside, but she didn't tear me down like that. You know what I'm saying? It was
right. I get where you're coming from now.
Yeah. So that's why I say that's never happened to me. And some guy, maybe if he looking real bummy and try to come up to some girl talk about, you gonna be my next baby mama, and then she be like, you wish you could get some of this, you dusty ass, broke ass, da 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 da. But he deserved that, don't you think?
Yeah,
so, I don't know.
Like I said, if a woman was supposed to talk to men the way Kevin Samuels spoke to and about women, that would be absolutely wrong as well. Because I'm not finding it acceptable because he did it, and then I wouldn't find it acceptable. The content is unacceptable to me. So whether a woman did it or a man did it, it could have been any other man. I would still find it unacceptable content. Right.
Liam is saying other black men have said they have had these experiences. That sentiment you're rejecting is what most black men claim to experience, which is why I said I haven't had that experience. I didn't say it doesn't happen. I said that hasn't happened to me. But
and it's wrong.
I think that they should probably look into why that happened to them. Because women don't like to be approached.
The women too, then.
But women, in my experience, like I've seen women cuss out a dude before that tried to come at them incorrect. Like, start saying, give me this or do that, or I'm going to do this to you, walking up to her. And she'll like defend herself verbally or something like that.
Right.
Whereas, and then like Teresa just said, and then they see a man try to holler, and then end up calling her a bitch for rejecting him. I've seen that. I've had friends do that. I've been right there when that's happened. But the truth is, they're doing that because they're mad. Their feelings got hurt. They came at them wrong. I've been rejected a few times, a lot of times, you know what I'm saying? But, but I never did that, because why would I do that when I just tried to come at you because I liked you, because you don't like me back, now you a bitch. I wouldn't do that. But your feelings get hurt. But that's on me. She didn't say, you fat bummy, dusty ass, da 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 da. You can't get none of these draws. Then I would have been like, oh, well, you really is a bitch. You know what I'm saying? She would be like, no, I got a boyfriend, I got a man, or no, I'm good, or not this or that. She never tore me down. You know what I'm saying? So that's the difference.
That's for your sports analogies, right? That means most often, not period, but most often women play defense. The men are on the offensive side, right? We play defense. We got the comeback. The comeback may be hurtful, but it's the comeback to whatever the you know, I guess advancement was. But I'll tell you this, Jay. I think I was 17 or 18. A guy set his dog on me because I wouldn't talk to him. I have bite marks behind both legs.
Wow.
He set his dog on me.
Wow.
He called out to me. I was crossing the street. I said, you know, no thank you, sir. I was always polite because you used to see people getting hurt back in the day, right? So I was polite. And as I'm crossing the street, all I heard was, get up. And that dog tore up the back of my legs.
Wow.
Because I wouldn't talk to him.
Yeah, I've heard some horror stories on like the news and other articles of guys doing things or stuff to women that don't do it. And I'm not saying, of course, Liam has been on fire tonight in more ways than one. But he's saying so it can only be men's fault. I think you are looking for ways to find an argument, Liam. I never said that. Thank you. I never said that. You need to listen, but your mind is already made up, is what it sounds like.
I think that's what it is. Because we're not saying that at all.
Right. But like Kelly said, most women are approached by a man in that regards. So even if they reject you, they won't start tearing you down. And if they have, a lot of times dudes do come at women wrong. I've seen it. I know friends that have done it. I try not to have done it, but I probably have done it. I never came up to a woman like, damn, you gonna be my next baby mama. Or damn, let me hit them drawers. Or you got a fatty girl. Or this and that. I never said that because that's corny.
Or throw money at you in the street.
That's corny. I'm not going to do that because then you're going to think I'm always give you money if it work, which I'm not. So I wouldn't do that. I'm not corny.
I look like picking up money. What I look like picking up money on a block. That's crazy.
Yeah, definitely. And I do agree with Damien. That dude was sorry as hell for sicking the dog on you. That was whack as hell. What I would have did if I really liked you and you had rejected me is I'd say something nice to you all the time you walk by and hopefully win you over.
Before nor after. That was the first and only time.
Right. So yeah. But you know, I just try not to. One thing I always try to learn from is other people's mistakes. And my block that I grew up on was all dudes. It was only 2 girls that was on that block. They never was allowed to come out with us the whole time. We grew up, even high school years, all of that. Even when we was in our twin, they never came. Which was probably smart because all the dudes would have tried to run through them big time. So with that being said, I'm talking about like 15 dudes on this 2-block radius growing up together. It was like boys' town. We got into so much all around the neighborhood, the city. Look like my screen froze over here.
Yeah, you frozen, Jay. Come back.
I'll fix it. But that's an ugly picture too.
Get it, Jay. Get it.
I'll try to fix this camera while I'm talking over here. But yeah, we definitely try to make it all work and come together as a crew with dates and girls. And I seen a lot of people, friends, drunk, saying things don't work, and I try not to do the same things they did. You know, like you say, most women don't chop you down if you come at them right. They may reject you.
We ain't putting the schedule together in the morning like, I'm going for Jay today.
Right. Yeah, you can get rejected, but that don't mean you're going to get cut down like that.
Right.
So.
And it's also not dismissing the women out there that do look at men for financial gain, because I think that's the only thing really that, you know, men have a lot of issues with, that the woman is looking at them as a cash cow, and I don't think that's fair either. Yes, both women and men look for security in relationships from different perspectives. However, I'm not excusing that type of behavior either. And I think that is the primary way that women come at men.
Right. Yeah, I agree. So, look like my camera over here messing up.
Oh, Jay.
It's about that time, I guess, anyway. But this was a good discussion.
Yeah.
Definitely happy to have it with you as always.
Thanks, Jay.
No problem, man. We had a lot of good comments, had a good turnout. It don't be a lot of people that's coming for these talks, but it's starting to increase. So right now we was at about 60 people live. Appreciate everybody for showing up, and it's growing. And if you all continue this showing up and you like this, then hit the like. Let me know if y'all want me to
like button, y'all.
Yeah,
yes,
let me know.
Press the I am Trini to the bone.
That's my girl.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. Kimmy Renee said exactly, Jay. I mean, yeah, man. And what you saying support is true, though. I've been rejected before, and it does hurt like hell, but that's on us. The girl didn't chop me down. She shut me down and said no, but she wasn't like, you punk light skin or fat or ugly or skinny or broke or none of that. She ain't do all of that. She was like, no, I need a baller. She didn't do that. She was like, no, I'm good.
Right. We're not going to emasculate you and devalue you just like that. I'm not saying that some, women don't speak like that, but that's just naturally who they are, and I believe that is wrong as well. But we ain't trying to cut you down and emasculate you off the rip.
Right. And I think a woman that would do that knows you too. Like, that's not a first impression type thing a woman would do. Like, say we know each other and bumped into each other. You know a little my history. You know I'm grimy or greasy, and you done told me no a couple times and I keep doing it. Then maybe you might go in on me. But in my experience, I never saw a woman go down hard on a man like that for just trying to holler on his first time.
Right.
Barika, thank you for the super chat. You said honesty without compassion is cruelty. It goes both ways. We had to love each other better as a community. That's what's up. I appreciate that. That's facts right there.
Yeah.
Rich Saldana said, good stream. We'll watch the next one. That's what's up, Rich. We're going to be doing this every Tuesday at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, as well as other streams. But this is the Real Talk Tuesdays, where we talk about relationships, real talk, all of that. If you all want to join the show, be a part of the channel membership, join up, where that way you can join live on the show and talk. I did post it. Only Trinae joined. But who knows? Maybe next time we'll have some more people join. Who knows? We'll see. Shout out to my young brother, Key Malik. Always great conversation. Good live, fam. Hey, Key, ain't no women talking crazy to you.
I know. He out there, he's stunning every day, all day.
Right.
Sunny California, yay, okay?
You know what I'm saying? Looking like a young model over there talking about women
exactly. He modeling every day, all day, every day. Stop playing.
Right. Key got his choice over there.
Right. You real one, Key. Stop playing.
Right. But I get it. He's saying that's what other men have said.
Right. He's standing up for his brothers in arms.
Right. But like I say, I haven't had that experience. I know damn well your ass ain't had that experience. And the guys that I do know that had that, they was all out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. Will a woman shut you down? Hell yeah. But they won't shut you down like a dude will shut you down. Men are meaner a lot of times. So it is what it is. Hey, So, you know, Teresa say, y'all act like these females be like old girl stripper from Hustle and Flow. I'm in charge. Who in charge? You, I'm in charge. I'm in charge, D. Support gaming. It was good to watch your streams again, Jay. I hope to catch up on the ones I missed. That's what's up. Where you been, man? I hope you ain't on parole. Yeah, he said, I hope you ain't on parole. What's up, man? What happened to you?
I'm done.
Key, he laughed. He say, I ain't exempt. I'm just trying to get right my damn self. No, ain't nobody exempt, but you ain't one of the ones that it happened to on the regular. I know that for damn sure.
Hold on, let me sip some tea for that, Jay.
I love that tea cup.
I love it too, Jay.
Definitely. I appreciate it, man. So, everybody, if you all got some topics that you want to talk about, or you want me and my lovely co-host Kelly to talk about on Tuesday, you can send it to me on Instagram. All right? Send it to me on Instagram at JMoreReviews, exactly like it is with the underscores on your screen. And once you send that, then one of your topics will be talked about next Tuesday. We try to do an hour and a half. We went a little longer today. It was a good one. So, you know, send your topics that you want us to talk about in regards to relationships, men, women, etc. And we'll break it down, talk about it, and who knows, you know, maybe your topic could be chosen. So definitely go ahead and send it through. All right. I appreciate it. You say you've been working a lot. All right, support. That's good, man. As long as it ain't work release. Nah, I'm just I'm just playing. All right, everybody, y'all have a great night. Thank you, Kelly, for coming through on point as always. Yeah, shout out to Moochie for coming through. And also Trinae for coming as well. And we'll continue this conversation in Discord. So all the Discord members, if y'all want to talk, chat, meet us in Discord. Everybody else, y'all have a good evening. I'll see y'all members on Thursday. And everybody else, I'll see y'all Friday for the Friday Fuss, where we'll talk about some more of these news topics of the week. And I'll see y'all then. Everybody be safe. And I'm out of here. Peace.
It's J More, the very best reviews. Tell them none can contest, we gon'